Hey guys, what's up? It's Jake, and today we have a new status report out. This is January 30th when I'm recording this, and that's also when the status report came out, although it's probably being uploaded on the 31st. I apologize for that, guys. Maybe even the 32nd. Anyways, not the point. We've got a new status report, and it's actually pretty cool. Not a ton of separate news, but the news that's there is very cool, and it sounds like they're actually making some faster progress on some things than they thought previously. Now, that doesn't mean you're getting the update soon. It just means, like, let's say it was going to come out, I'm just going to say July. Now it's coming out a little bit earlier than that. Not saying it's coming out in July. Not saying it's coming out earlier than that. Not saying it's coming out later than that. It's just that it's a little bit, they're making lots of progress. All right, guys? That's all the point is. Let's go ahead and move into the first thing. And that is a little bit of sad news with some mixed good news. And that is that they actually lost the lead environment designer. Apparently he needs to go home to help with his family, and just kind of, he's actually not from the place where the Dayz studios are located, which, and so he's going back home to work there and help take care of his family, which is sad considering this is the guy that's given us the overhauled forest, some of the cute map designs you find. I mean, like, sometimes when you're just wandering the forest, you find trails through the woods, you find, I think Chernarus is beautifully designed, and that a lot of that goes to this guy, I believe. At least the additions that have happened in the recent years. So we thank you, lead designer or environment designer. But it's not like they just lost a member. They've actually, of course, replaced him. And with all the people that complain about Dayz's progress, pretty sure new members that are being hired by such a big company as Bohemia Interactive, it's not a bad thing. In fact, it's probably a good thing because these people are there and they've got to show that they're worth getting hired. So this guy's going to be doing good work, I'm sure. I'm sure he has good credentials, and I'm sure he's going to be trying to prove himself, which means good work and working hard. So that's good news too, and we wish you luck to the environmental designer that is now left. Moving on to good news and stuff that has been progressed to do with beta. Prone combat has been worked on quite a bit. It's looking a lot better. I realize apparently spinning in prone and just all the kind of combat related to prone, it always looks wonky right now. Crawling kind of looks slidey. When you spin around, your guy just literally spins around. It doesn't look like he's actually pushing himself off the ground. Because if you guys don't know, when you're laying on the ground, if you need to do a full 180, it's not that easy. You got to actually put some work into it, and they want to make it look that way. Next up is ladder climbing. So they're basically just working on making ladders available in the new engine and all that, which apparently it's almost all ready, they said, which is good. And on top of that, guys, they're being very precise with how their animations look, so I wouldn't be surprised because currently if you press F on a ladder, your guy just teleports to the ladder, and then starts climbing. I wouldn't be surprised if we have some really nice looking animations for getting on the ladder. And I'm just telling you guys, the animations are going to make or break this game as well. Making this game look crisp as you run around is just going to make it visually enjoyable, which makes things such as running just that much more fun, or exploring the world just that much more fun. Melee combat has having lots of progress. They've hit another iteration, and it's now available in the game on their local test server, which is just for them. There's heavy and light attack modes, new evades, and bug fixes for the targeting, and animations added for melee and ranged weapons. So that's a lot of progress. And they actually later on in the status report say that they've made more advancements than they thought in melee combat, and that actually has got them to now be able to actually work on some infected stuff. So stay tuned for in a couple minutes. I'll actually be showing you some new footage of what these zombies are going to look like a little bit. They still need a lot of animation work, but they have some new footage of the zombie walking and stuff. I'll show you guys that in a couple minutes. On to some other stuff. Basically, they've actually started working on the vehicles, which that may sound bad, but there was like a layout of things in the past status reports that they need to start working on, and they're getting to these things. They mentioned ladder combat they need to work on, they mentioned prone combat, and they mentioned vehicles, and they're on these things now. So they've started on these things, and I'm telling you guys, vehicles are already not terrible. When they first came out, a lot of you guys probably don't actually play Dayz that much anymore, and that's fine. I know you guys just watch the videos, and I appreciate you guys, so make sure you keep on tuning into my videos. I really appreciate all the likes and support. Your guys' comments mean a lot. Anyways, sorry about that little iteration there. I just wanted to say thank you. Vehicles really sucked when a lot of you guys probably quit Dayz. They fixed them once. They do a lot better currently in the game. They're pretty good. They're still buggy, as Dayz really just is in general. And they're actually still working on them once more to make them, honestly, pretty dang good for beta. We've seen some vehicle physics with how they work when going over bumps. Looks so smooth. I'm so excited for that. And lastly, on just the stuff that's been kind of advanced, they've fixed a lot of bug fixes to do with the camera. And if you guys didn't know, basically the camera is now going to be a physical object in the world. So you won't be able to see the camera, but like let's say you walk through a doorway and you're in third person, your camera is not going to teleport through the door. You're not going to be able to see through walls just by holding Alt and looking around in third person. it will actually like bend down and go under the doorway, and I might have a gif of that to show you guys right here. Very cool. The camera looks beautiful, and I'm so excited for all the work that's been done with the cameras. Moving on to the actual really exciting stuff, like I put in the thing title, the zombie work. So basically, they've started working on these zombies, which they said they weren't going to do for a while, and they're excited to be getting into that now. Basically, they've also been working on the sensory mechanics, which means sneaking, whether that's sneaking or vision. So basically, if you sprint next to a zombie, he might be able to detect you from 30 meters away. That's just a random number. But if you crouch next to a zombie, they might only be able to see you from 20 meters away. And if you're actually like crawling or moving really slow, you might be able to make it within 5 meters. So that's the kind of cool stuff with that they're working on. Also some new animations, the way they're walking, the way they interact with the world, jumping. They said jumping, which is interesting. I don't know what kind of jumping the infected are going to be doing, but that's a little scary to hear about that. Anyways, they actually, in the end of that, he said, I'm going to shut up now and go back to work. So they're still working on it this day, even when the freaking status report came out. And the last thing on the list, what I actually put in the title, was dynamic spawning. Now, I touched on this in my last video. If you guys want to go back and listen to that, there's some gameplay in that one that I probably won't be including in this status report. Not my last video, my last update video, which you can find on my channel. Anyways, basically, dynamic spawning means that kind of like how loot works currently in the game. So let's say player X walks into a building at 5 o'clock, takes all of the items in the building. Then player Y walks into the same building 2 hours later. Of course, you wouldn't want it to be empty, so they actually have a dynamic spawning mechanic. I don't want to say dynamic, but the central loot economy will respawn items in there. So they'll find a few items here and there, no idea what they might be. It's all pretty much random, depending on the location. But right now, if you might expect for that to be other places in the map. Because one thing that's pretty classic about DayZ is if you want to go find an apple, what do? You walk up to an apple tree, you probably use the dang apple glitch. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys, and me as well, I'm sure. But if you're not going to use the glitch, you still have to search for apples and just hope by the random chance that, oh my gosh, I found something. Same thing goes for if you want to find sticks in the woods, if you want to find rocks on the ground, you search for rocks. And that honestly was just a placeholder. That was a limitation of the last engine. If you guys are wondering why this update is taking so long, it's because they are designing an entirely new engine that is capable of doing stuff like I'm about to tell you. So basically now, you're going to be able to walk up to an apple tree, and literally, it will dynamically spawn a certain amount of apples, possibly on the ground under the tree. You will literally, when you search for apples, you're physically searching them with your eyes. Your character doesn't just randomly grab one. You're going to find an apple under the tree, pick it up, and eat that delicious apple. Same thing goes for rocks. Even, you know, if you're on the coast of the ocean, you see a million rocks. Why do you have to search and hopefully find one? No, you're going to look down and find a boulder that you want. You can look, and there's pictures here I'll show you. You can see the little rocks on the ground next to the hay bales. And on top of that, you're going to find sticks in the wood. Literally, there's going to be sticks on the ground that you can pick up and use. And while this all seems kind of basic, it hasn't been in the game, and it's been a limitation that they said they won't be able to add. But now they're actually going to be able to do it because of this new engine, and I'm so excited for that. Because when you have to click F and search for apples and just wait for the random chance, it takes you out of the immersion. But when you actually run into an apple orchard and you see physical apples on the ground, I mean, yum, yum, delish, let's bake some apple pie. That's freaking sweet. So, anyways, guys, that's basically it for the status report of January 30th. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop a like and consider subscribing. I'll welcome you guys into the Fly crew. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys in my next live stream or video. Thanks for watching.